So, where is Monkey going then? Is it mid lane Monkey? Yeah.
Yeah.
Masara soft lane. Alright, two drafts that are so SCA that, yeah, just full chaos. You can't really read them until the end. Death playing the Dead Prophet, so offlane Dead Prophet, safe lane Nature's Prophet versus the Mars. And mid lane Puck. A little bit of a switch up.
Yeah, so then I guess if it was the offlane Prophet, it would have been versus the Lycan.
Yep.
Wait, that seems good.
Lycan has some pretty sick matchups on the mid lane. Like, you get too much regen, you have two wolves to last it with, you can't really contest him. But as he's on the safe lane, you switch things up a little bit. You put Prophet, you put Dead Prophet there.
Yeah, but why not put Nature's Prophet there?
I'm not really sure. Their whole draft looks very wonky. Sometimes in SCA you get hit by drafts that are completely genius. Sometimes you can't really read them completely.
I mean, like, I like all the heroes. I just don't know about where they're going.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, is this wonky draft gonna take it, or?
I'm not sold. I like the draft. I like the Dead Prophet core. They got Dead Prophet and Puck cores, which is really strong right now in the meta. They have Nature's Prophet Symphony, which I do not like that much. It's not like the matchups are even that great for him.
Nope,
and
listen to him. Mars.
And because of that, I'm going to go with Fnatic. I think what they got was a little bit easier to read. It's very standard. You have the strongest carry pretty much right now. In Monkey King,
for battle.
played on the mid lane. Yep. That's true. But Lycan as well, who's going to be able to cut the backlines. I think I'm favoring that.
That's a lot of talk just to say Fnatic, top DPC SCA. Obviously, they're going to be Neon.
Well, I think you know, coming from the FGC, I like the phrase "pick a top tier." I like what Obi Neon has picked, so I'm gonna go with Obi Neon Tsunami.
Let's do it. Put me in.
Sure.
All right, Obi Neon versus Fnatic. Let's go into the first game of the first series of the. Take it away, Black and B-Cop.
All right, let's take it away. Fnatic against Neon should be a fun one. This was a good matchup when we were back doing DPC SEA, and I'm ready to see it once again. Obviously, a couple changes for Neon, but I have faith in them. Black, I hope you have faith in them as well. I know you have in the past, but I'm waiting to hear what you got to say about this one.
It's... You know, in the group stage, they did not really convince me, my man. But, you know, they've recently shown a little power surge since Death came as a standard for them. So, hopefully they can do it. But as the panel already said, the draft is looking, yeah, a little rough. Let's put it that way. It can work. They need to snowball real hard, but it's not going to be easy.
I got faith in Yopaj.
I know you do. I mean, he's a fantastic player, but he's had a not the best tournament individually, unfortunately.
Right. I think we see that from Yopaj every now and then, where it's just like, I have all this faith in him, and sometimes he underperforms. I think it's also when I juice him up a little bit, and I'm just like, yeah, Yopaj is going to have the game of his life. I feel like I've done that a couple times to guys, where I'm just like, this is his good hero, and then all of a sudden I just get proven pretty horribly wrong. But I've seen him play well. I've tweeted at him. Yopaj got a couple times during the DPC season, but we'll see how he does here. Hopefully something to look forward to. It's Puck against Monkey King. Is it a matchup that you think he's going to be benefiting in? Because we've seen Moon do work in the past.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy matchup. Like, it's a 5-5 matchup, I would say. Monkey King can't really get Harris out of the lane here because of his high armor. Puck should also be just able to get his levels as well as farm, and then just rotate once level 6 hits. As usual, as we always see from Pucks, with that obnoxious, super strong green coil.
Yeah, that green coil always a pain, especially once you pick up that Ags, if that's in the agenda for him. We'll see
eventually,
how it goes.
Sure.
Jabs pulling this lane all the way through in between the tier 2 and the tier 3, and Abaddon's going to completely follow him all the way through. Taking a look up towards top, though, play hard over there as we'll see how that matchup goes. Any matchups that really just kind of stand out at you? Like this Death Prophet now in the off lane, and you're seeing the Nature's Prophet in the safe lane.
I mean, the Death Prophet Lycan matchup is really tough for Lycan until he gets his Necro and level 6, simply because DP is hitting very hard. The Spirit Siphon deals a ton of damage. against his high HP heroes. So it should be a tough lane for Lycan, but once he hits 6 with those Necros, then it turns around. Then suddenly DP is the hero that is really scared of the Lycan.
What do you think is the counter here, and who do you think isn't safe? Because we've seen a lot of times, actually, thinking of both at SEA and China when we were doing it for the leagues, we've seen both sides of the Lycan pros and cons, right? Like, we've seen Lycan who can chase down heroes, but we've seen Lycan who's also unsure of what he wants to do, uses that ult, runs in, doesn't do anything, and then it just doesn't feel like that hero that's got all this farm, that has this Necro book, is really producing much for the team.
Yeah, Lycan is pretty hit or miss here, and we've only really seen SEA teams pick it up. And as you said, you know, a couple of times they misuse the ultimate. Suddenly you just use those for 2 minutes, you can't do a whole lot. And it's really a very punishing ability to misuse. So we'll have to see how Fnatic does it. Like, Raven is one of the best Lycans, of course, in this scene. So I'm sure he'll be doing just fine, but it's not as easy as it used to be. And it's not as popular as it used to be either. As I said, only SEA teams are really picking it. The other regions are kind of straying away from it.
Yeah, because we were seeing it go from like the 1 to the 3. Sometimes it was like in that 3 picking up Ags if it wanted to work with something else. Is this maybe a Fnatic lineup that's more dependent on what Moon's gonna do more than Raven?
I mean, Moon is, like, they picked a Lycan pretty late, and they just picked it because it's really damn good against the whole lineup. There's not a single hero that counters Lycan in this game. So I think in a game like this, he's gonna go absolutely ham, which we have seen in the past as well. Once he gets his Necro 3, the Yule Scepter is gonna be used, so this can't save you. You just purge it off. It's just gonna be very tough to deal with in this game.
We'll have to see how it moves out as Playhard just taking a little bit of harassment there from the line.
Mars,
got
though.
Jabs looking over towards mid.
Yeah. Healing, salving up, no problem for him. What I really want to point out here is Mars is struggling a ton. Only sitting at 6 CS as the offlaner here. Masteros having a horrendous laning phase. Very low level, very low farm. It'll be very tough for him to recover here.
Yeah, and it's not really something that we've seen from Masaros in the league or during the league time. Because when he was playing during the DPC league, he was my standout for Fnatic, really.
Yeah, they always set him up for success. Or usually they do, at least. This game, however, it's not the easiest lane. It's Prophet and the Baron, 2 very strong laners. He's sitting at 1,000 net worth, bottom 3 right now. As you said, not something we're used to seeing.
Yeah, they don't really sack his lane too much. Like, I guess someone who reminds me of getting their lane kind of their off-lane sack like that is like Chalice. Used to have used to get sacked. Trying to swipe that bounty rune. Jab's not in time. Playhard picks it up.
Close, resulting in 3 bounty runes for Radiant here. And I would agree, like Masaros, he can play from behind, but he's really at his strongest when he's ahead in the game and can start snowballing, making plays. I haven't really seen him playing from behind too many times in the DPC league, at least.
Yeah, Jabs comes over mid, they've got vision to him, and
Tough kill though, very tough kill.
yeah. Not the easiest to pick up there. Do have at level 6 though for the puck, so Dream Coil available. We'll see if he rotates to a lane or tries to make something happen over mid with a rotation from a support. They do have the Abaddon coming over, not really sure that's enough to make something happen, unless maybe they turn it on Jabs expecting a rotation.
I think they need the Nature's Prophet as well. Of course, with global presence is always really method here. Wound fight. Oh, the Abaddon actually takes it away from his puck. It feels bad, man. But yeah, like there will be a lot of damage potential here once the Nature's Prophet is level 6. With that Wrath, with that Coil, we have to see which lane they will prioritize. This Monkey King is having a very good time, so it could be a good kill. HTTP bottom.
Yeah, he's going over towards the bottom. He's looking over for the meter. Comes in, has Masaros right to his side. Land, and they should be able to get the kill to the Nature's Prophet. Moon gets first blood. That's good to come off the lane and land that first blood, which hasn't been claimed up to this point.
Yeah, a very passive game so far, and Monkey King, good rotation there. Because as we said, Masaros is really struggling. This kill is gonna give him a little bit of time to catch back up. Lycan already picking up his Necro as well, so his power timing is there as well. No shapeshift yet though. Still needs a couple of creeps for that.
Trying to get everything he can. He hasn't really felt his presence. Well, Morancho grabs the danger, comes in, and all of a sudden they're going to go over mid, looking over for
Dire's
DJ.
middle tower
Hex
is
moves
under
onto the
attack.
puck, but they've got enough damage.
Dire's
The Real coming in.
structures are
Counter rotation from Moon. They also got jabs. The Boulder Smash comes through the speed. So now, are they going to look over? The Exorcism gets used here by Death.
No mana though.
On to Moon. They got nothing out of that mid rotation, and
Dire's
they're going to
middle
push
tower
these two
is
heroes
under
away.
attack.
Fnatic really unable to make something happen from trying to turn
Radiant
that around, and that's with
structures
the
are
missed
fortified.
impale from this Nyx assassin.
Be really careful here. The Master Arena could potentially turn this whole fight around. Def also TPing in
Radiant's
without any
top
mana though.
tower
He
is
used
under
Exorcism,
attack.
but he didn't have any mana to follow up with the Spirit Siphon, so unfortunately... Or maybe the Exorcism will still result in the tower here, going very aggressively. Mars has Arena though.
Close to getting the tower.
They don't pick up the
Dire's
fighting.
middle tower has fallen.
Nice pickup here by Fnatic.
Double damage.
Roll over hits, play hard. Grabs the double damage. Still trying to land this stun. He's got Yopaj over to the side, but DJ with a two-man stun.
No
Not
point of
over
it.
getting his mana drained, and I mean, he's got no mana to work with in the moment. And Moon's going to come in and try and clean up these two supports. Looks over Flavor, Spike Carapace. I don't know if that's going to matter. It looks like he's still dead to rights. They'll land the stun, and DJ gets the kill onto this Nyx assassin. I will say, all things considered, Neon's doing a decent job.
Wow, so much damage coming out here. Man, Moon is playing this Monkey King from the mid lane so perfectly here, being very active. He's not farming a whole lot, you know, but he's just being very active around the map, killing people, keeping his position at top 3
Radiant are
network,
scanning.
making so much space for his Lycan. Absolutely loving it.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Lycan, now next finished already.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Needing about 7 minutes to finish that Necro 3, which
Radiant's
is really
bottom
like
tower is under
the
attack.
massive power spike of that hero.
Dire's top tower
Monkey
has
King.
fallen.
Invading the enemy jungle a little bit. Not too much going on here. This is a pretty passive farming game, which is
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Spirit type healing on the left though. Nice impale, but he should be able to get away. Nice safety by General. DP is such a hard thing to bring down, especially with an Abaddon covering him.
Dire
Prophet.
are scanning.
Seeds of
Pretty
them all.
well here. Almost has his Witchblade.
What have we
Actually
here?
prioritizing Witchblade over Orchid. See how that pans out for him. I guess there's a whole lot of
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Monkey King's being affected by the DP doing a whole lot of damage with that Exorcism.
Dire's bottom tower is
Being
under
out from the
attack.
heroes, but they lost both the Monkey King as well.
Radiant's
Very good
middle
fight
tower
here
is under
for the
attack.
Radiant. The back of the very farmed Death Prophet.
Spout.
Death.
Dire's
The
structures
best
are
Death
fortified.
players in the scene. And
Radiant's
he's doing
middle
a very
tower
good
is
job
under
as a stand-in
attack.
here for Neon.
Dire's
Came in
bottom
as a
tower
replacement, I
has
believe, for
fallen.
Rappy. The easiest shoes to fill. Very good job for himself here. They're still maintaining a 1,000 gold lead here. in Radiant, but I feel like they need to get ahead a little bit more than this. Monkey King, as well as Lycan and Mars, they scale very well into the late game. So just being ahead 1,000 gold might not necessarily be enough.
Invisibility!
Vendetta being used, potentially setting up for pickoff here. Recoil available on 5. Also Invis Rune on Puck. So Nyx and Puck are now an assassin squad. See if they find anyone here. Monkey King potentially in danger. Choose to farm that next wave. Might be in trouble.
Silence!
I feel like if he was a little bit more patient, you know, perhaps... I feel like he was about to jump in, let's put it that way.
Got that
Let's
sixth
smoke
sense
here.
thinking that they'd catch someone.
Level 3 next to you, like gold available as well.
They're gonna go the stun that rolls in as well as the finger. They get the kill there on a play hard. They'll look over a Yopaj. Boulder Smash lands, slowing him down. Look for the Geomagnetic Grip. That's not going to silence up this Puff just yet. Really not much. Really been at the moment. Locked down that race. Coming from Asaros, they get the kill as they use the Magnetizer. Going to continue for more. Genuel uses that ult. It looks like this Abaddon is dropped too. So 3 heroes dead.
Radiant's
Raven at the
middle
beginning
tower
of
is
the
under
he was getting a
attack.
lot out of this first
Radiant
shapeshift
structures
coming
are
over mid,
fortified.
but I mean right there, all of a sudden Spear lands from Asaros, it locks up the puck, that gives them 2, and then from there, I mean they're able to kill off the Abaddon too.
AC is too cold, they're freezing. Wow, they're being assassinated by a contraption in their room. Is Neon actually the enemy, or is it the AC? We'll have to find out
Buying
shortly, as Fnatic is apparently just freezing to death. No, but really, like, very well played here by, like we said, there's not a whole lot of counters, you know. Even though the shapeshift didn't look too promising at first, he never really dropped in health. The Necro Warriors, after the perfect spear from Masros, just completely eating up the Radiant lineup here. And it's not gonna get easier, you know. Like, Dire scales a whole lot better than Radiant does into this late game, and they're very even in terms of net worth. After this tower, probably even leading on the Fnatic side. Gonna be a tough ask for Neon in this game.
This is where you talked about how it might snowball out of control. Is this like that moment that we just watched?
Potentially, I feel like 1 or 2 more fights for Fnatic that end up this way. DP as well as the Prophet just won't be able to fight back anymore against this Lycan. It has too much damage output at the moment. It's very good timing as well in the Necro 3, going straight into an AC. As soon as that AC hits and he gets higher levels in the howl, it's minus, how much armor is it actually? Minus 13 armor on everybody, which is just not something they can really deal with at this point. They need AC, they need Shiva's Guard, but they're so far away from it.
It's too cold for AC though. Can't go get that AC if it's too cold.
Yeah, like, how is it balanced? They have an automatic Shiva's Guard already.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Monkey King going straight into BKB, I love that. Just to be able to frontline for his team. Masaras going into the Blink Dagger. Still pretty poor on the Mars, but somewhat getting back into the game. He'll just be the one to initiate for his team, and that's all he has to do this game. 1,000 gold away from that Blink Dagger.
Which is really going to help with that initiation. Usually you see that from Masaros earlier because, like we said, his lane doesn't usually get sacrificed the way it did. But I don't think it's the biggest deal if they can keep the map open. DJ coming in and lands that stun onto the Nyx Assassin. They're bringing over a couple of heroes here from Neon. Won't be able to catch anything just yet. And you can see Raven sitting back, waiting maybe for them to initiate on the Lion to maybe turn it around and go for it. But he didn't have Shapeshift, so it would have been tough to commit.
Right. Yeah, like without Shapeshift, does not feel like the same hero at all. Cooldown is very long. Still 20 seconds. And as soon as that's up again, they're probably going to be looking to take the next fight. Potentially even the next tower. This Lycan at this point is unstoppable. Like, he needs to get coiled, and they need to be on top of him with the Exorcism to really deal with him. But even then, you know, the Necro Warriors, they can just kill a hero or two.
Yeah, so strong, and he's getting quite a bit of farm. He's about to surpass this Nature's Prophet.
Radiant are scanning.
I mean, Lycan is just one of those heroes, you know, if you pick it really late and they have no answer to it. It has always been that way. It's just a pretty cheesy hero, and sometimes it can just win you games. Have to see if that's the case this time around as well. Perfectly set up for him though. Just going for the bot tower now. Raven is closing in scarily fast on that AC, which is his next power spike. He just needs another 2,000 gold. It will be completed already. Hyperstone
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And he
Radiant
only needs another
structures
2,000
are
gold.
fortified.
At this moment, it doesn't feel like there's a way to
Dire's
stop him
top
unless
tower is under
everything
attack.
is really used on top of this Lycan. I just don't see how they stop him at the moment. Is there something that, like, when you see Nature's Prophets, you're thinking maybe he can push a different lane, kind of put some pressure on to Fnatic, but does Camille really have that option at the moment?
It's very scary against both Monkey King, Earth Spirit, and the Lion. Potentially even a Marcus. You know, there's so many heroes that can just pick him off. So you have to play very carefully here until he gets his BKB, which he is still quite far away because he went for the Maelstrom first. Which played into Maelstrom, into
Radiant
BKB.
structures are fortified. Dire
Your
structures
right-click
are fortified.
kind of built as expected, but no Orchid. That is the most surprising thing. Usually Prophets always go Orchid, but this game, as I said before, it's not really a good target to Orchid. So it makes sense.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Tower under a lot of pressure, but Fnatic is already pushing bottom. So it might
Radiant's
just result in
bottom
a trade
tower
here.
is under attack.
Which isn't the worst thing for Neon overall, but if they could have gotten it without the trade, that would have felt better.
Radiant's
Playhard
middle
does have
tower
vision
is
on
under
this
attack.
move,
Tower has fallen.
but not really much you can do. They still commit to take that tower, and they didn't lose there, so not a complete trade just yet. Maybe
Radiant's
Fnatic
middle
commit to it and
tower
look
is
for
under
more, 'cause
attack.
I think if Raven's the one showing and you don't really have vision of everybody else, you can't look to defend that, right?
Right, and Necro also ran out at the same time, so Fnatic's push potential, of course, is like pretty much all the Lycan. They might be looking to defend this tower here, play hard.
Radiant's bottom
Roll.
tower is under attack.
Just want to D-ward. A little suspicious that roll. Maybe just trying to scare him, you know? Doing it again, just to D-ward.
Yeah.
Radiant's
there it
bottom
is.
tower has fallen.
Yeah, it's such a
Dire's
bully
top
move.
tower is under
I
attack.
hate it.
But with that vision, obviously, you see the Earth Spirit, you realize that it's not just the Lycan down there. You already knew that Moon was down there. They couldn't defend the tier 2, and ultimately it doesn't become a trade.
Yeah.
Radiant's
It's
bottom
just-
tower
I
is
feel,
under attack.
Radiant is not comfortable right now fighting into this
Dire's
Lycan at all.
middle
As I
tower
said,
is
even if
under
they
attack.
throw everything on the Lycan and kill him, there's still 4 more heroes to worry about, you know? So even if we kill that Lycan, he's gonna deal a ton of damage anyways, and then you have to deal with the rest of the team, which potentially you already blew your entire load on the Lycan. Can't deal with them anymore.
This is a
Woke up here.
big moment as they're going to get the hex out onto the app. And maybe not who they wanted to find, as they have the Blink Dagger available on Mars. He goes to the back lines. And, well, getting chased here by at least with the balance strike coming through. And then there's the kill
Dire's
onto
top
this
tower is
Abaddon.
under attack.
Catching one here at least. Nyx Assassin with the Tranquil Boots as well as Vendetta. Very fast. Master was just barely not catching him. And there was the Blink Dagger reveal. So now
Radiant
Leon
are
knows.
scanning.
And it didn't really yield any results.
That was a
Itemizing into the Yule Scepter. Not the biggest fan of Yule's and DP this game, because of course you use yourself, like you can just purge it down immediately, and it might potentially just be almost 3k gold down the drain. That doesn't really add to your survivability. Would have much rather like to see perhaps just a fast BKB, you know, to counteract that. We'll see if it pays off for him or not.
that Yules might not be the right choice, and well, they got itemized now knowing that this Blink Dagger is available for the Mars. It wasn't exactly the biggest reveal that we've ever seen with a Mars getting a Blink Dagger. They only get the kill on the Abaddon.
Offlane DP carry Prophet mid puck works out perfectly. Nature's Prophet way too fat to handle for Fnatic.